Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited today. It is another installment of Art Supply Hoarders Anonymous, where we are going to be opening up and using art supplies that have been sitting around for far too long. The book community has something similar going on right now, where they're saying, don't buy any new books right now, only read what you've got. And so I kind of like extrapolated that into my art supplies. So we are going to be using something that I've had for a while. These are Dr. Martins. This name is so weird to me. Dr. Ph Martins. I don't know if it's like pH balance or it's like short for Philip. I'm gonna have to do a little research, a deep dive into Wikipedia on this. But these are acrylic Bombay inks. I love working with ink. I know you're saying, do you still have the shrink wrap on them, Mel? I'm pretty sure you haven't used these yet. But in general, I love using ink in my art journal and in my paintings. This is set number 1. There is a set number 2, but I recommend, if you have to only pick one, picking set 1 because the colors are more diverse. Set 2 is a more limited palette. The only one lacking out of this is orange. So, but you have red and yellow, so you know what to do. I love the qualities of ink. It is uncontrollable, unknowable, it's very mysterious, and it kind of has a mind of its own. So it has this really like feminine energy to it that I love, because you never know what's gonna happen, you never know which way it's gonna go. Do you hear my air conditioning turned off? In combination with the crayons, watercolor pencils, oil sticks, you have a lot of fun things you can do with it. The great thing about the Dr. Ph Martin inks is they are very light resistant. So you can use them in your art knowing that like down the line, they're not gonna fade. They come with a cute little card kind of explaining how to use them, which I really like. Again, like last time we discussed this, I'm an abstract artist. I think I just like throwing things, you know, like I've come to this realization about myself. So we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna be using them in my art journal today, so I'm excited. But what I wanted to show you before we move over to the table, this is a really cool feature of keeping them in their original container. I know like the thing right now is very popular to like put everything in like a wooden box on a shelf or like a wicker basket. But this is good for these. If you would like to keep the original container, you can set them upright like this. I think it was just a very clever, design hack. I don't know what the little hole in the middle does. Maybe, I don't know. Seems like missed opportunity there, but, but this is how they look. Now, something to keep in mind if you're new to inks. I'm so excited to be playing with these. Something to keep in mind is that you're going to want to shake them up. The pigment will settle sometimes. So if you're about to drop some ink onto your work or begin using it, like give the bottle a little shake first, because that will work a lot better. So the only, like I said before, I think I said this before, these are all transparent, and the only opaque in this set is the white. Everything else is transparent. So I just sneezed, probably because there's dust on these because they've been sitting in a drawer for too long. Time to get painting. Let's go.
So I'm going to get started first off by applying some water before my ink, kind of like watercolors. And this is where you can get those great surprises. You never know what's going to happen. It's just so unexpected and fun, and this is where, this is what I love about art, is just never knowing what's going to pop up. I am using only the Dr. Ph Martin acrylic inks with this. There aren't any additional inks. But I am using some acrylic paint. Here I am adding some white to kind of get some pastels going. And just seeing different applications and what I could get. Here's putting some ink directly on a brush, seeing how that goes. This is collage paper that I make myself. I have a really great time just using up that excess paint by smearing it on some old paper. And this is this great cheap acrylic that I get at the dollar store, and I use it to apply my collage paper. Now I'm using my handy dandy spreader that's just an old credit card or one of those little credit cards you get in the mail that's just paper. Use a ton of those here at my house. I was really loving this color palette that was starting to develop. Just these soft, springy pastels made me feel like spring is around the corner. It's finally here. And this is collage paper that I'm using to spread some of the paint. So I'm getting two birds with one stone. This is an old pen that doesn't have the ballpoint in it anymore, and I love to use that to move paint around. At this point, I was really feeling the playfulness in this piece, and I was really enjoying how the layers were coming together here. And I thought, you know what? I need a little bit of yellow. And I was right. That's exactly what I needed. Thank you so much for painting with me today. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below.